What is up, guys? Lack of skills here, back with another video for the legendary skill series. This is going to be the smithing video. Now, a little bit of a disclaimer. You need to have a character at least level 14 for this, because this NPC that we're going to use to power level our smithing, and not in a way of training, in a way of it requires you to do a little bit of a quest, is not going to spawn at Riften Docks until you are level 14. So, on the map here, the Riften Docks, near Riften, obviously, hard to miss. You want to talk to this lizard here from Deepest Fathoms. She talks to you about some lexicon. You're gonna say what you're talking about. Say you'll take it.
You must bring it to avanchnzel in the west. Return it to them. It must go back.
Right, and then that gives you the quest, Unfathomable Depths. So this is needed because an avanchnzel is here. So this is needed because you need the passive reward from completing the quest to level your smithing most efficient way. So that is why we pick up the quest from her. Now, in short, you want to level up your smithing to level 30 to get steel smithing, dwarven smithing. Now, the fastest way to level up your smithing early is to simply just make iron daggers. So just buy one leather strap and one iron ingot from the local vendor, or mine iron and use beast belts if you want to level your smithing to level 30, so you have access to dwarven smithing perk. That's what you need. So without further ado, I will go to avanchnzel all the way over here, and then I will see you guys there. Alright, and we have made it to avanchnzel. Now, on your way here, do be careful, because there's a lot of wild animals around that will try to apply a little bit of murder to your existence. So this cave is not open unless you pick up the quest. So if you thought about going in here without questing, you can't. You need the quest. So you're gonna walk in here. I'll go through it at my own pace because it is on legendary difficulty. So you're not gonna want to see me shoot things for 20 minutes. It's not exciting. So we're passing through that until we get to the relevant part. That being said, the main thing you want to watch out for here, enemies and or otherwise, are there's traps, the usual spikes and blades, and mostly just tremors, spheres, and spiders. Because of the level being below 20, you will not see any very strong Centurion enemies until you get to the last boss. So that being said, you can just walk in here. The early is a bit of roleplay here going on with these guys. You see the spirits of the
It feels like we're being
the people that died here, pretty much.
It's a simple job, Drennan.
It's like these two lizards, and the one lizard you saw at the docks is the surviving lizard, right? So, okay, so that being said, I will skip towards when we get to the relevant part, to the end. The dungeon is pretty straightforward. There's a bunch of decent loot in here. And that being said, I will see you guys at the last boss. Alright, and as you can see, we made it to the end of the dungeon. The Dwarven Centurion that you need to beat is over there. Now what I recommend you do is come here with a bow and at least 1 point in the sneak skill, I would say. Just the point here. You can put the second point in if you like, you don't have to. The first one is enough. So, I went for a little bit of a combat archer build to be a little bit more tanky. But you do want to use the sneak as much as possible, as also honestly, ignoring the regular ads in the dungeon is better, because they are just too annoying, and this area itself is locked off. The only enemy that's here is this boy. There's nobody else here. Now what you simply want to do is you want to go into sneak, and you want to use the environment against him, as you would being an assassin. So you pop a shot into him. He gets hit, you just walk away. You just sit here around the corner till he loses interest pretty much. You can go through here, by the way. We're just spacing him correctly, that's all it is. It's not like he gets stuck. So he's gonna be very confused. Turn around. That didn't hit him for some reason. Ideally you want to walk a bit forward, so because the thing is, he looks where you shot him from and he looks to where you are. So we shoot him when we go around the corner here. That's what they always do. They look at the arrow impact location and they look at to where you shot it from. Because you see, I shot it from there, right? So he doesn't move up further than this. So he just walks back. He's guys like, okay, there's nothing. It must have been the wind, you know? Whoa. Alright, calm down, friend. And then he should lose interest here shortly, as he always does, right? We move up slightly forward again, wait for him to move. And as soon as you let it go, just turn around. Because you see, he will turn around pretty instantly. A good thing to do is use these stones here as your indication to where he shot from. So you can determine his exact range as to where he's gonna walk. Also, a little trick is don't forget to put on your Amulet of the Bella to sauce him into taking an L. That is very important. You need this. Now, of course, being the absolute chat archer that I am, I just go for prices because I don't need this. So just wait for him to lose interest again. As you can see, this is very fail-safe. Like, he doesn't really... You walk up. Sometimes it just doesn't connect for some reason. If that happens, just bear with it. Also make sure you bring at least 100 arrows, because for just this guy, because else you're not going to be able to kill him. He's a bit tanky. Not sure why my arrow missed him, it was point blank, or not point blank, but point on him, so I don't know why. Skyrim's archery is in a weird spot, it's always been this way. As you can see, he's still like kind of confused. This location is not ideal, however, but because I missed, you see he's looking at a weird angle. So what you can do is slightly aggro him, apparently. And now he's moonwalking. Alright. Very interesting. You can always retreat around the corner here. He never comes past the door. As long as you don't shoot him from out the doorway, obviously, or aggro him like this. Just make sure until he fully resets, he loses interest. It's very important. He always will walk back down the hallway. If he does come close, you can close the door. You can shoot him from here, but I recommend if you do, you shoot him from here. From in the shadows. Like so. Because then you have enough time to go around the corner before he catches you. And you see, even with super low sneak and no real multipliers, I can still kite him pretty efficiently. So, that being said, I will not bore you further with how this interaction is going to go. It's going to go like this, so I'm going to go kill him, and then we will move on. Alright, and we have gotten rid of our lovely Centurion friend. So, there's another one here you can loot. Probably worth doing. And then, this is what we came here for. You activate this, the Lexicon Receptacle. And then you see top left, Ancient Knowledge added. Now, what is Ancient Knowledge? Ancient Knowledge is this. Knowledge gained from Lexicon gives you 25% bonus while wearing Dwarven armor, which in itself is good, because you can hit the heavy armor cap with any sort of armor. So doing this would still be worth if you're doing a heavy armor build. But the real thing is, blacksmithing increases 15% faster, and this is across the board. This is whatever blacksmithing you do. The Dwarven blacksmithing, however, happens to be... money. Happens to be... the most efficient way to level smithing, because there's a very easy way to get a lot of the materials needed to level it up. So, oh my. Now that being said, we have a lovely amount of stuff, I do believe. So what you want to do is you want to take these things to a smelting thing. To create a bunch of ingots. So I'm going to get out of here, sell my shit, and then we'll move on. Now that we've made it back to Whiterun, what we want to do is use our smelted Dwarven stuff to make some bows. Now, make sure you have Ancient Knowledge, obviously, and Warrior Stone active. Go to your Dwarven smithing and make bows. Now, it's a 2-to-1 ratio. You need 2 Dwarven metal ingots and 1 iron ingot per bow. So what you want to do is you want to collect a bunch of stuff and then just smash craft, and as you can see, it goes pretty fast. Make a bunch of lovely bows. And then we're too heavy to move. So that's what you want to do. Now, in the next, in this part rather, what we're going to do now is I'm going to show you a way to get a lot of ingots, or Dwarven metal rather, for free, without actually having to do anything. You can cover the cost of your iron ingots by simply selling the bows. So if you, however, if you don't want to do that, what you can do simply is either go to the Ember Shard mine over here, that you can get very early, to just mine some iron there after taking out the bandits, or you can go to Dawnstar and go to the Ironbreaker mine on the what is this? The east side of Dawnstar, to mine something there. So getting iron for free is also very easy, but buying it is just a commodity thing, I suppose, to just be fast with it. So we're just gonna offload the bows, as I say. We're slowly creeping along. It's a good time to cover some other things.
Not everyone in here. Give a holler if you have any questions.
I have so many questions, Adrian, you don't even want to know. Hello, Ilpert.
Well, looking to protect yourself or deal some damage?
We're just gonna offload the bows to him, so you can get 3k for the bows. It's pretty good, right? We have no points in speech, by the way, and just a Zenithar's amulet. So every bow goes for about 100. It's not too bad. There we go. We'll give him a little bit of profit.
Good doing.
Empty out his coin, and we can run. So, the next stop will be the lovely town of Markarth. So, one can take a carriage there, or if you've discovered it already, just go there, obviously. I shouldn't need to tell you this. So, I'm gonna talk to this boy.
Where do you want to go?
I would like to go to Markarth, my good man. Which is here.
Climb back and we'll be
Climb back and we'll be off.
Ever been to Markarth?
Worth noting, if you're not too anal about exploits or minor exploits, what you can do for the next part is bring a follower and use the what's it called? You can use the pick up command or the do something command and force them to pick up way more than their inventory capacity to save you the time of having to run into the dungeon 2 or 3 times. So if you're not too anal about it, you can do that. If you are too anal about that, you're gonna have to do a lot of legwork to collect all the stuff. I should have drawn my weapon here so we can get Margaret saved. Nope, too late. Unlucky. Could have gotten the silver emerald necklace if I wasn't so slow, but I was too slow, so that's very unfortunate. Rip Margaret. F's in the chat for Margaret, boys. My money's on the big one. I know, right? Alright, so we want to go into Understone Keep. And we want to go talk to a certain wizard, if you will.
What are you hiding, priest?
I'm not hiding anything. Aeola's eating our corpses. Other than that, there's nothing going on, I swear.
Next season, nephew. Next season for sure.
Right, talk to Calcelmo.
Doing here.
He's gonna insult you.
Site is closed. I don't need
I was looking for you, actually.
I'm sorry, I got too excited.
I'd like to see excavation.
Systems are. I'll let you in if you agree to something. If you deal with Nimhe, I'll let you into both the excavation.
I'm interested.
Enthusiasm. Good. Here's the key to the dig site.
So that's the thing. You want to pick this up from him, and then what you want to do is go kill Nimhe. Because that allows you both access to nchuand and his museum, which is over there. Which is, both of those are a great source of the Dwemer, solid Dwemer plate, and all the other stuff you need to make ingots, pretty much. So the ones you want to get is the solid Dwemer metal, the large plate metal, the small plate metal, and I think it's the Dwemer strut. I think it is, at the top of my head. I should have wrote this down, but I am a bit of a chaotic person, so I forgot. I'll sell that to him. There we go. What you want to do, obviously, is make sure your inventory is as empty as possible. So I'm gonna go onto a little selling spree to make my inventory empty, and then we will move on to the nchuand, and I will show you how to collect a bunch of shit for free. And one session of offloading our stuff later, we can now go in here because we have the key. We don't need to pick the lock, and this is the nchuand's like entry point, I suppose. You can see there's a lot of stuff here: solid Dwemer, large decorative. The small plate. This is all stuff you want to pick up. Like just in here, there's a lot of stuff already. You can bring a pickaxe if you don't have one. So let's see, another large Dwemer plate. All this stuff is, you can use this stuff to make ingots. And that's why it's the best way, because it's also financially responsible. It doesn't cost you a lot of money to be able to actually do any of it. Some more here, small plate metal. And the point of entry, if you will, is mostly just spiders. They are, however, a little bit dangerous. So I recommend, as always, that you have the high ground. As you can see, there's one right over there. Nice one shot there with the sneak attack. Can try to persuade the others to come. Don't think they will. No, I can jump up here and hit the loot. And over here there's a bunch more of the scrap you can pick up. I say that, but where is it all gone? Alright, in this little cart. There's some stuff in this cart, and there is some more stuff around the corner here. See if we can entice them to come around the corner, see where they're all at. Oh, that didn't kill. Alright, time to book it. These spiders do a lot of damage, so it's wise to approach this slowly. Even though you hear the jump make sounds, it doesn't actually impact your sneaking, so you can jump to create more distance. But as I said, it's going to be more of the same with me just slowly killing these enemies, so I'm just going to fast forward through it so you guys don't have to sit through this, because you get the idea, right? You kill them and you move on. After you've cleared the room here of the little two spiders, you go in here. This is the main room, and in the ceiling over there, as you can see, is Nimhe. So as soon as you walk in, she pops out. Make sure you book it. And then you want to use, make sure you dodge the projectiles. You can just kind of kite her like this. She's non-responsive right now, I'm not sure why. Oh, never mind, there we go. If you do get hit by that, you probably will die, so be careful. That is most likely a one-shot. Then you kind of just feather the spider from here. Clever use of terrain. And for those who are going to say, oh, it's an exploit, it's an exploit. I shouldn't have made the fucking wall, the hallway this tiny then. Get some archery levels, always nice. And there she's gone. Very nice. So, and then you can go and tell Calcelmo that she's dead, or what you can do is go in here. And in here is where the good stuff is at. So, I'm not gonna run through the whole location just for video purposes, because it also would take way too long. So, I will show you what is inside, but I will not go through the whole location because it will just simply take too long. So in here is Falmer and a few, for now it's just Falmer. However, if you complete the location as intended, you will have the problem of there being Dwemer everywhere too. Now this is just like any other Dwemer ruin, except that this one is, how do I put it, is highly saturated with the materials needed to craft all the Dwemer ingots, pretty much, right? All the scrap, all the right scrap is in here. So if you run through this whole location and you melt all the stuff, I think you will have about 300 dwarven ingots per run from this location. The things you pick up are the Dwemer strut, this one, the large decorative Dwemer strut, the plate metal, the small plate metal, and the solid metal. So you pick these up. Throughout this location, you will, if you go alone, you will most likely need to do 2 or 3 runs to be able to pick up all the scrap. If you're not using the follower thing that I mentioned before. Yeah, so that's the first location you can use. Now the next location is more so something you should just revisit every other time pretty much. First we're gonna go back and tell Calcelmo that his spider problem has been rectified. So we are going to simply go back up here. I know this video is a bit long on the longer side, but as I did a little bit of testing, I found that this is still the most efficient way to do it, except it just takes really, really long. As any other crafting skill, barring alchemy, I would say. So, that being said, we're gonna go tell Calcelmo that his spider problem has been rectified. And also pick up the bent Dwemer scrap metal that you just saw me pick up. You need those two, I almost forgot. So write this down, if you can't remember, write this down. The small Dwemer plate, the solid Dwemer metal, the large Dwemer metal, the large decorative Dwemer strut, and the bent scrap metal. Those are the ones you can use to make our lovely ingots. And as you can see, this is still marked as steel, right? But if we help him...
The artifact, you have my gratitude.
Yes.
As promised, is the key to the Dwemer Museum.
See, and now he gives you the museum key. And you can see that these are no longer noted as steel because we're friendly with him now. So we can just take these lovely metal thingamajigs and move on to his museum. As you can see, we'll move on to his lovely museum now. Because we have the key, they will not become hostile or suspicious if we enter, so... And as you can see, there's a lot of display cases here that you can open, and still this stuff is noted stealing, but if you don't care too much about hired thugs, I would say just loot all this stuff here. It's got some lovely books, some farmer stuff, some other stuff. These guards here are periodically patrolling, but they will not aggro to you.
This is Markov.
So you can even talk to them. They're just regular guards. But if you do pick all the locks here, right, make sure you do it when they're not detecting you, because they will become hostile if they see you pick the locks. So, huh. That's new. Very interesting. That has to be a creation club thing that I wasn't aware of. Huh, interesting. Alright, cool. So, oh god.
I mostly deal with petty thievery and drunken brawls. Been too long since you've had a good...
Oh, you look like you're ready for a bandit raid, mate. Anyway.
Let me guess. You need a drink.
He's not wrong. Alright, so you can use this location as well to get a bunch of Dwemer scrap, albeit not so much. The nchuand place is by far the best, although same as with avanchnzel, it is a bit tricky to maneuver because the enemies there are a little bit strong. So again, I recommend you do this on a higher difficulty. Now the other lovely location that you can go to find a reliable stash of Dwemer stuff that doesn't require you to fight or kill anything is mzulft, where you go for the Mages Guild. So you want to go there. And then when you travel in, you want to turn around and look for the little house here, right? So if you did the Ethereum Wars quest, you're probably familiar with this place. Going to the Dwarven storeroom. There's no enemies here, however there is more Dwemer metal, as you guessed. So you want to take all that. See, very lovely. You get to go here too for the Mages Guild quest, the conveyor stuff. So you want to just look through all this lovely stuff. Some gates here, some more scrap metal, as you can see. Whoops, but in here is some very lovely loot. Okay, please. Oh god. What in the... Sometimes I swear lockpicking this doesn't work. There we go, finally. My god, man. You can see up here there's stacks of ingots. Not to mention some very nice loot. Some solid metal. As you see, we're too heavy to move now. Unlucky. Just drop this. You don't care about it. Anyway. Some Dwemer plate metal, as you can see. Another locked door. We shall promptly unlock. And then over here is the Ethereum shard that you can pick up if you like. Don't have to. There you go. Solid Dwemer, scrap metal again. And then over here there is some cogs and other stuff like that. It's funny, I never actually picked this up before doing the quest because there's no point. Anyway, I was trying to humor myself by picking a lock, but alas. So, now this place is good too. Worth noting, if you've looted the nchuand fully and you've looted this place, that what you call it? I'm not identifying it. What happens is they will reset. The locations will reset every 30 in-game days. So every 30 in-game days, you can come back to the location and plunder it again for all the Dwemer, scrap metals, etc., etc. Now, if you picked up as much as you want or need, you can go to any of the smelters. And as you can see, with all this stuff that we picked up here, you can make a lot of these ingots. Just from our very little, we didn't even really do much. We got 84 ingots from doing pretty much nothing, as you can see, which is very fast. And then you could obviously buy the iron ingots, or you could mine them, as I said, in Dawnstar. I will show you that location there. And everyone knows where Embershard Mine is, I'm pretty sure, so I don't need to cover that. So you'll go to Dawnstar. This is my lovely expanded cities mod thingamajig, where it makes, I think it's called Great Cities of Skyrim. If you're interested in this, this gives the Falkreath and Dawnstar a bit of a more like a city look instead of some backwater shit town. The Dawn God. Because these guys are apparently a capital city. Now they actually look like one. So the Ironbreaker mine's right over here. Make sure you bring your pickaxe, obviously. And then you can just go in here and mine all the ore here. All the iron ore. They won't get mad about it. So if you don't care to buy the ingots, you can simply come here and mine it. Again, this resets also within the 30 in-game days. And yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it. As you can see, smithing levels up very fast. You only need these two perks to get it going. And that will pretty much set you up to power level your smithing. So, in short, Warrior Stone, Ancient Knowledge by doing the avanchnzel quest, kill nimhe in the nchuand and collect all the aforementioned materials in the video for that stuff to make Dwemer ingots. You just make bows. The bows are 2-to-1, so 2 dwarven ingots and 1 iron ingot to make a bow. Then offload the bows to the nearest merchant, rinse, repeat until satisfied. So that is it. If you found this video remotely helpful, exciting, entertaining, I don't know, enlightening, all that good shit, leave a make sure to leave a comment, subscribe, like, share with friends, and until the next one, take care.